Hello friends, it's Terry with Terry's Mailbox, and I'm excited to be presenting for the Funky Junkie Boutique today. The current theme is actually music, so we were supposed to create a music-themed project, and I decided to go for this very vintage America tag with the flag and the stars and all the fun stuff on it. So again, I use this. This is an older Tim Holtz Alterations Biggs die. So I've got the flag and the stars here. And then we'll go ahead and use this old sheet music that I found from an old music book. And there's a paper doll that I already had painted or colored with distress crayons and had it in my stash. So I die cut all the pieces, and now what I'm doing is I'm applying foundry wax in this statue color. I had a great time playing with this. Again, you can see I put it on the Ideology stars. I put it on the die cut stars. I put it on the flagpole. And in the end, you'll see that I added it to the chip quotes board that I'm using that says Dreamer of Dreams. So again, here I am just kind of adding it onto the edges here. I used my fingers, just kind of squirted a little out on a scrap piece of paper. And so now I'm using my heat tool to heat it up, and it's amazing how, depending on how much wax you apply, how metallic the end result is. So again, I wanted my flagpoles to kind of have a metallic look. And then here I am doing the Ideology stars. And then I'll go ahead and do the paper cut stars too. So you can see here all my pieces are assembled here. I've got the music sheet sitting there that I have already torn and inked the edges with Vintage Photo Distress ink. I think I used gathered twigs at the very end when I did the perimeter, but so next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to work on that quote chip. So again, I'm using my Distress ink, embossing ink dauber, and then I'm going to go ahead and put prize ribbon embossing glaze on it. I use glazes a lot. They're translucent, and so even these darker colors, you can still read the the sentiment behind it. So again, I'm going to pull out my heat tool and heat it up. And I like watching it just melt. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add that foundry to the perimeter of the tag, and then we'll go ahead and heat it up again. So here I am squirting out a little more, and we'll go ahead and do the edges. And again, you can be pretty sloppy with this stuff. Again, it kind of is meant to look look homemade. So again, I'm going to go ahead and pull out my heat tool. I love watching this foundry wax melt. It's pretty fun. And by the way, you should see a red arrow at the bottom right of your screen. That's my subscribe button. I would love it if you would come and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So here I am. I'm using a star stencil. I believe it came out of a Christmas set. I'll link that on my blog. I'll have all the products linked. But again, I use that embossing ink dauber again. For the bottom ones, I ended up using a bronze chunky embossing powder that I had in my stash. But after heat drying it, I wasn't real happy, so I switched over to the foundry wax for the top, which I thought was kind of fun. So again, we'll squirt a little bit out here on a scrap piece of cardstock, and I'm just, kind of pouncing it in there using my fingers. And you'll see I'm going to peek at it, and what I discovered is that maybe I didn't have enough wax in there, and the points of the stars were not well defined. There I am peeking. I don't like that, so I'm going to put it back, add some more wax there, and keep going. I really want to make sure that I get those points covered. So you can see I'm really kind of smooshing it in there, trying to make sure that everything is covered. There we go. I'm happy with that. And you can see how glossy and bright they become once you heat emboss them. So I pulled out my collage medium, and now I'm just attaching the two pieces of the music sheet to the background here. And I'm leaving the edges hang over. I'll take care of those at the end. But you can kind of see I have all my pieces laid out here. I've got the star and the chip the quote chip, the ideology stars, and I've got some labels from the field notes ephemera that, again, red, white, and blue. So I thought those matched well. So here I am just kind of attaching the base of the flag, and then there's my little blue piece there. And I did ink the edges of those a little bit. Not much, but a little bit. So again, we'll add the flag there. Next thing I got to do is add those flag poles. We'll get those all attached there. Looking good so far. I'm excited to use this as a decor piece in our home. I don't really have any 4th of July pieces. I've got lots of other ones because, as you know, I'm on an etc. tag kick. So this is my second 6-month period of doing etc. tags. So I've got a lot of them. And again, as I did last time, I will go through and show you all of them at the end of the term. So again, I've added the little girl, and I decided she needed to be in the middle because I wanted room for those stars off to the edge. And you can see here I'm using my collage medium in the bottle, which I used for the quote chip and also for the paper doll. Again, it just gives you extra coverage. So now I'm pulling those labels and just kind of adding collage medium, deciding where to put them. Very fun, very fun. So then I'll go ahead and coat the entire thing with collage medium. And the last thing I need to do, of course, is add those 3 little stars. So I'll pull out my collage medium in a bottle. I need a little blop of glue there. Finding good places for them. Very fun. So the last thing to do, I need to let this dry. And after it was dry, you see I've got the paper hanging off the edge. So I went ahead and tore it off, but as you can see, it's leaving little points. So what I ended up doing was grabbing a sanding block and just sanding from front to back, and that got rid of all those little points and made it an even edge. So now I've gathered twigs. I think I used oxide this time, and I just went ahead and edged the outside. I like the vintage look of this. I mean, she really looks, this looks like a very old piece. So then I found some Tim Holtz red, white, and blue string in my stash. Like I say, I've been collecting Tim Holtz items for many years, and I have quite a stash. So again, this is a paper twist type of string. So I'm going to go ahead and just wrap it around my fingers. So I've got 3 loops on each side. Then we'll go ahead and cut it. And then it's always kind of a trick to get it tied when you've got them on your fingers, but you can do it. So once I've got them tied, I'll go ahead and attach that in the opening on the top of the tag. Just getting them all even tied here. And I usually like to run that string a couple times. Hopefully I have extra strings so that I get kind of at least 2 layers on the tie in the very center. So we'll go ahead and get that all tied. So kind of fluffing the loops out there and trimming the excess. So there is my tag. And again, it's the music challenge that this one is running for. So again, it's Terry with Terry's Mailbox. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Blogger, and YouTube. I'd love to have you come and subscribe to any or all of my channels. Have a great day.